All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. All right. Let's see. Welcome back, everybody, to another PE Weekly Live show. Hey, guys on Facebook. Hey, everybody over on Instagram. Hello, everybody. Welcome back, guys. Really love jumping in on Wednesdays with you guys and really coming in to talk to you guys about really growing and scaling your online businesses. So this is something super exciting for me. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about 3 reasons why launching is going to be so essential to you and your business come 2021. Really have some cool things to talk to you guys about, and I do want to answer live questions. Okay, so I'm going to take questions as well. Let me make sure I have questions popped up. Hey guys, hey everybody over there on Instagram, say hello guys as you join. Hashtag replay if you are tuning in to the replay. We want to say hello to you too. We want to know you were here, and we want to answer any of your launch questions. So I thought it would be cool to come in because I think that, we all really know that things are changing in the online space, right? We know that people are making buying decisions a little bit differently. We know there's a lot of people coming into the online space, right? And that is really a great opportunity for you guys. That's an opportunity for us. That's not an obstacle that it's going to get packed. It's going to get a little crowded. It's going to get a little noisy. That's actually not an obstacle. It's an opportunity because these are going to be people coming into this space who are new here, right? They haven't been doing this like you and I have. So they're going to be new here. And they're going to need and want your services. They're going to be looking for help. And so now more than ever, with everything going on, launching is going to be so essential to not just your profit, not just your revenue, but to the sustainability, the longevity, and also the predictability of your company, your revenue, your sales, your impact. And I'm going to talk today about why launching is going to be so important as you enter 2021. If you're not already doing it, if you're not already launching, right? I think everyone needs to launch right now. I think everyone needs to have a launch on their calendar for 2021 January. But I think it's important now more than ever that you are preparing to launch or you are launching, especially as we head into 2021, where things are going to change even more drastically. Right? Things are going to be changing in the online space and in social media as we know it. And launching is going to be critical. Now, I'm going to share a couple things with you guys on kind of my idea behind why I think this is so important, why it's something that I'm doing, why it's something I have my clients doing very successfully. And then I want to answer any launch questions that you guys might have. Okay. So here's the thing. I do want to put a little disclaimer here that, I want you guys to understand that launching is just a strategy, right? It's a strategy like webinars. It's a strategy like email sequences, like Facebook ads, challenges, workshops. Like launching is just a strategy, okay? It takes that consistency and that repetition to build that mastery. Right. So when I talk about launching, it's not a strategy that's like this overnight success. Like you go launch and you're going to be successful and, you're going to have all this profit come in and it's just like your business is going to blow up. That is all actually true, but it takes time and mastery. It takes that consistent repetition, just like any other strategy that you would be doing and applying in your business. So I want to say that. I also want to say that the way that I teach launching is not the only way. I'm very, very big on, yes, I have a system. Yes, I have a process. I have my own methodology that I have created over 20 years. And yes, it's what I teach my clients and it's what I implement, but it's not the only way, right? Like a lot of my clients take the way that I teach launching and they make it their own. They make it fun. And I think that that's super, super important for you guys as you are thinking about how you're going to grow your audience in 2021. Rapidly. How are you going to nurture and activate that audience? And how are you going to convert that audience? Launching is a fabulous, fantastic way to do that. But there's also a lot of ways to do it, right? So obviously and naturally, I'm going to talk about my ways. I'm going to talk about what I teach and how I teach and my methodology and what I believe in the sense of launching. But that doesn't mean you have to do it my way. That doesn't mean that you have to follow my process. I just want to share with you guys how we're doing it over here in Team Profitable and how my clients are doing it very successfully. And yes, they are tweaking and making things their own. And I recommend you do that. But there are some practicalities that come with launching that make launching so successful. And that's what I want to talk about today. And then you can play and tweak and bend this all the which ways, however works for you, to make this your own. The first thing with launching, guys, that I want to talk about, that I want to share with you guys, the first thing with launching is it builds brand awareness and authority, right? So a lot of times, it takes consistency, but a lot of times this is the biggest thing I see with entrepreneurs today. They lack consistency. They lack repetition. And the reason usually that I hear people, not being consistent with something, or maybe they're not following it through all the way to the end, is usually, well, I did it for like a week and nobody responded or nobody liked it. It didn't work. I didn't get the results that I expected, right? So I'm going to go and try something else. I'm going to try something else. I'm going to go over here and try this thing that this person is doing, or that I learned over here from this person. I'm going to try to do that instead. And so a lot of what we see with entrepreneurs is that the dabbling and the bouncing around and not really doing anything long enough or consistently enough to actually get the result, right? And so part of the launching process that we teach is that you are doing it and following it 6 to 8 times a year, back to back. It's that repetition, it's that consistency, right? And here's the other side of this. It's not just like do it consistently and be consistent with it because we want you to generate revenue. Yes, that is one part of it, right? But the other part of this is that people buy from people. Now, a lot of the things that I notice with entrepreneurs today too is they don't understand sales. They actually don't have a good understanding of the sales psychology. And the problem with that is that when you don't have mastery with sales, you don't understand how people buy. You don't understand the buy-in triggers. You don't understand what takes someone from a cold lead to a paying client, pulling out a credit card and paying you. If you don't have a strong sales skill set, right, then you don't understand how to sell in the online space consistently and confidently. And so this is another reason I see a lot of entrepreneurs kind of backpedal. Oh, well, I put all this effort and all this hard work into doing this, but like it flopped. It didn't work. It's not working. People aren't buying. Right? And then they like backpedal and they're like, I'm going to try something different. I'm not going to do this anymore. And we see a lot of inconsistency with entrepreneurs today. There's a lot of distraction. There's a lot of options and a lot of choices. And so a lot of entrepreneurs are like, I'm just going to try a little bit of everything, right? I'm going to try a little bit of everything. And we're not following things through to the very end and then evaluating. And we're not doing anything long enough and consistently enough to get the result, to get that reward. There's too much bouncing around and kind of like half-assing it, essentially, right? So this is the first part. And the other thing is that people buy from people. If you want your audience to pull out their credit card and pay you thousands of dollars to come work with you, they need to know, like, and trust you. Bottom line, guys, that's a full sentence. They need to know, like, and trust you, and there's a period at the end of that. That is a full sentence. If they don't know, like, and trust you, they're not going to buy from you. They are not going to pull out a card and pay you thousands of dollars, right? They're not doing it. So there needs to be consistency and in what you're doing so you build trust. People can't trust you if today you're a marketer and tomorrow you're a brand expert and the next day you're a copywriter and the next day you're a health coach and you're switching your stuff up, right? Or if you tell them, hey, I'm going to go live every week. And then 3 weeks later, they haven't seen you. And then a month later, you come back and you're like, hey, guys, I'm going to go live every week. Sorry about that. Or, hey, I'm going to email you on every Tuesday at 9 a.m. And then, oops, sorry, guys, forgot to email you the past 3 weeks at 9 a.m. Sorry about that. When you don't have consistency, you lose trust with your audience. That traction and that momentum that you work really hard to build up with your audience, it dwindles and it dwindles fast. And here's what I'm going to tell you. It's so much harder to get their trust back once you've lost it than it is to just get it right from the beginning. Okay. Now, when I think about launching, it's not just like, oh, hey, let's put a program out there, launch for 4 weeks and sell it. There's the psychology piece that comes into this. It is the part, we're thinking over here in our company, we're thinking about, building trust, building the know, like, and trust factor with our audience. We're thinking about, brand awareness and authority. We're thinking about consistency and repetition, right? We're thinking about our audience when we're launching. We're not thinking about how much money we're going to make. We're thinking about how can we build know, like, and trust factor with our audience? How can we show them that we are the experts, that we are authority in our niche, that we know what we're talking about, and they can trust us. And there's a lot that goes into that. It's not just about putting together a launch. And this is why a lot of entrepreneurs, they do what they call a launch, right? They come up with this awesome idea and they start throwing it everywhere. That's not launching. There's a lot of things that have to happen lead up time. They need to happen prior to you even launching the thing, right? And there's a lot that needs to happen with your audience and with you and with your content and with your strategies. A lot of things need to happen prior to you ever launching. And a lot of times we just don't see this happen with entrepreneurs. They're like, yeah, I came up with this idea in bed last night. I launched it today. I threw it out to the world and I talked about it and I sold it and I promoted it for 3 weeks and nobody bought it. And that's not a launch. That's not a properly planned out launch at all, right? And so you have to remember, this is not just about, I have an awesome offer, you guys buy it. This is about building brand awareness and authority and the know, like, and trust factor with your audience. And that comes from repetition, not just when you're launching. That's the thing. A lot of entrepreneurs, they're all about it. You're all in when you're trying to sell. But then when you're done selling, we don't see you. You're gone. It all goes out the window. And that know, like, and trust factor, it dwindles for your audience. But here's the thing. We have people that participated in our launches 6 months ago who are buying today. We have people that have been in our launches 4, 5, and 6 times who are buying today, right? There's that momentum, you guys, that builds up when you stay consistent and you build that know, like, and trust factor with your audience. It's really hard to do that when you're switching it up all the time, or you're not following things through to the end. You're not doing what you say you're going to do. You're not showing your audience that you are an authority. You're an expert. You've got your shit together and they can trust you. The other side of this too, guys, that's really important to understand is in traditional marketing, and I do the air quotations because I am anti-traditional anything. When the world is zigging, I'm zagging. I just like to be different. I like to be creative and stand out. I'm not really about traditional, but I'm also a very smart businesswoman. And I know that business is a numbers game, right? I know that no matter how we slice it, business is a numbers game and numbers never lie. So I am smart enough to understand that, you know, in traditional marketing, they say you need 16 or more touches before someone's going to pull out a credit card and give you thousands of dollars. Now, obviously, every now and then you get that random buyer who's like, oh, I just met you today and I'll pay you. But if you're talking about predictable, scalable, reliable, consistent, recurring revenue, that is not a strategy, right? Your audience is going to need to see, hear from you about the same thing 16 or more times. So let me just say that again. Each member in your Facebook group, on your Instagram, on your email list, whatever it is, that person, each person on average needs to see and hear you talk about one thing 16 or more times before they're going to actually pull out a card and say, I would like to give you my hard-earned money to come work with you because I now know, like, and trust you, and I believe that you know what you're talking about. So let me say this. Let's put it into perspective. If you're talking about something different every day, every week, every month, if you're backpedaling and dabbling and bouncing all over the place all the time, every day, every week, every month, and your things are always different. Your niche is different. Your I help statement is different. Your branding is different. Your offers are different. Your strategies are different. Everything you talk about is different. If you're doing that constantly, then nobody in your audience is hearing the same thing more than like once. No one in your audience is hearing that same thing 16 or more times. So therefore, that's why you're not generating buyers. If your audience was hearing you talk about the same thing all the time, those 16 touches would begin to happen and you would start seeing momentum with your sales, right? So I want you to think about, let's follow breadcrumbs, right? Follow success, follow the clues of successful people, follow the breadcrumbs. Let's look at Tony Robbins, for example, regardless if you like him, have hard feelings, whatever. Tony Robbins has had his same event every year for decades. Decades. He makes millions of dollars from that event every time he opens it up to the public, and everybody goes and he makes all this money, right? I'd had people ask me, how the heck do people not get sick of that? How does he continue to have a sold out event when it's the same event for decades? Because he's built know, like, and trust with his audience, and he's built a brand, and he's built awareness, and people know, like, and trust him and want to be in his energy, right? That's how he does it. He's always growing his audience, and he's always being consistent. He's trustworthy. You can trust him, right? He's got a trustworthy brand. He's got authority. He's consistent. He's reliable. He's predictable, right? Same thing with Marie Forleo. I signed up for her email list 18 years ago, and she still talks about the same thing. She still does the same thing. She still has the same brand today. Obviously, it's grown, but she still is the same person doing the same thing, talking about the same stuff. She has the same niche, right? All of which was what I opted into 18 years ago. David Nagel, same thing. He does his same event. Suzanne Evans, she has Be the Change event. She's been doing it forever. 18 years ago, I signed up on her list, and she was doing that. Do you guys see what I'm talking about? I'm giving you names that are reputable in this industry who have been doing the same thing for decades, talking about the same thing, teaching the same thing, hosting the same events over and over. People are expecting it. It's predictable. It's trustworthy, right? It's reliable. And so you have to see that success leaves clues. You have to pay attention to those around you who are successful and look at what they're doing. They're not changing things up all the time. They're not trying to be creating something new all the time. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel. They're not dabbling, right? They're not a health coach today, and next month they're a marketer. They're not a social media expert, and the next day they're, a yoga instructor. Like, people buy from people, and they need to know, like, and trust you to do that. So if you are switching things up so much and you're not following things through, then you're not talking about the same thing 16 or more times, which means your audience isn't hearing it enough from you, right? There's going to be a very small amount of people in your audience that's going to see the video that you put out today. There's going to be a very small amount of people that see the email that you write and send out this week. There's going to be such a small molecule size of people that see that one piece of content. So to think we could just put that one piece of content out a couple of times over a few weeks is not nearly enough. It's not nearly enough. It's going to take you forever to get to those 16 touches. So you have to be looking at building brand awareness around the thing that you want to be known for, the thing that you're going to do. And you're going to launch it, and you're going to do it consistently over and over and over. And that's what I love about launching. When we launch our profit launch into our 12-month hybrid coaching and sales marketing program to help you scale. And when we launch that, we do the same launch. It's a 5 to 10 day workshop. We do the same one every single time. We tweak it and make sure it's updated for the trends, right? It's always fresh and updated, but it's the same thing. And it leads to the same program. And it's the same thing every time. And we've done that for years now, right? We have another one coming up in January where we're going to walk you through our launch formula. We're going to walk you through our profit launch formula and show you exactly how we do our launches inside my programs. And we do that one all the time. We've done this for years. It leads to the same program. We run it all the time. So people coming into our group will ask us, hey, Ann, when is your next profit launch workshop? I'm excited to learn your launch methodology, and I want to get in there and I want to learn it, and I'm ready to launch my signature group program or scale it up, right? So people start to know you for that. But if you're doing something different every day, then it's really hard to keep up. Does that make sense? People buy from people, okay? And they only buy from people they know, like, and trust. So ask yourself, does my audience know, like, and trust me? Am I consistent with my brand? Do I have repetition? Am I doing the same things over and over and over and over and over and over? Am I launching the same things? Am I talking about the same things? Am I doing the same things? Am I following through with everything that I'm saying so that I build that know, like, and trust factor with my audience consistently, time and time and time again? Are we getting those 16 plus touches with every piece of content that we put out, with everything that we do? Are we getting it out there enough? 16 or more times, okay? So that's the first thing, is that brand awareness and authority, right? That's the first thing that launching helps you do, okay? Now, the second thing we really love about launching in the Profitable Entrepreneur community is you get to showcase your signature methodology, which is going to create a buyer or client buy-in is what it's going to do. It's going to get your audience to want to buy in because now you get to show them your methodology. Inside of your launch, you're going to teach them your step-by-step system, not the whole big picture, right? You're going to teach them little nuggets, or you're going to pull one little system out of your bunch of systems and teach them that one thing over the course of 5 to 10 days, right? And in there, you are walking them through the process that you take your clients through to get them the results. And here's why this is important. You have to bridge the gap with your audience. It is not enough today, and it's not going to be enough in 2021 for you to just solve problems. That's a start. But people need to know, how are you going to help me solve this problem, and why? Why should I care? Because you and 3 million other people do the same thing. You and your competitor over here sells the same thing. Why you? Why your way? Why your methodology? That's what your audience is doing up here when you're marketing and you're promoting and you're selling and you're showing up and you're extending invitations. It's called sales psychology. Your client up here, your potential client, is saying, okay, I see what problem you solve. I have that problem. Okay, your solution looks kind of cool, but like, how are you going to help me do this? Because a lot of people have told me they could help me. And in fact, I've invested in a lot of things and didn't get the results. So how are you specifically going to help me solve this problem? And why should I care? Like, why you? Why your methodology? Why should I invest in doing this your way versus my own way versus your competitor's way or this way that's free on Google? Why you? Why your way? Why should I care what you have to say? So if you don't bridge that gap, you guys, you're going to have to work hard at selling your people. I don't have to sell to my people. My people come to me already ready to buy. I don't have to go around chasing people and try to convince and beg them to buy. I don't have to do that. I don't need to negotiate. I don't need to go chase people around. My sales team doesn't need to do that. And the reason is because we've created a client buy-in. We create a client buy-in atmosphere and culture. And the reason that the way that we're doing that is by being consistent and doing these launches where we are walking you through our methodology, the way that we do things, why you should care about the way that we do it, how it's different from the way everybody else is doing it, and why it could be the thing that's going to get you the result. And why we believe in it, why we stand behind it. And the other thing is we practice what we preach. And in fact, when I teach my profit launch methodology, my workshop, when I am walking my community through that process, I'm not only teaching it, I'm literally demonstrating it. I'm actually doing it as I teach it. So that's part of that, building that know, like, and trust, right? Is also demonstrate, be behind what it is that you're doing and teaching, and actually do what you teach, right? Like, walk the walk, guys. Don't just talk the talk. We actually are doing what we're teaching you. We don't ask our audience to do anything we aren't doing ourselves, right? So you got to practice what you preach and show your audience that. Right? Show them that. But it's really hard to do that if you're doing something different every other week. It's really challenging to show your audience, to bridge that gap for them. You have to remember that you're not the only person sending them an email today. You're not the only person going live. You're not the world doesn't stop what they're doing when you hit go live. The world doesn't stop what they're doing and open every email you send out. You have to understand that you've got to bridge the gap and get their attention, because people are busy and there's a lot going around right now, right? Everyone's getting hit with a lot of options. And so yours has to stand out. And that starts with you having a clear-cut system that provides a solution that your clients want. And it needs to be something you believe in, that you're actually practicing yourself and you're putting your clients through, and you're getting results and your clients are getting results and you're loving it and it's amazing and you believe in it and you stand behind it. If you don't have that and you're just randomly selling stuff, people aren't going to buy into that. It's not enough anymore. And in 2021, the bar is going to be set much higher for us as entrepreneurs. People coming in, making investments are going to expect a lot more from you. They're going to really expect you to go above and beyond and deliver exceptional service. And if you don't, they will go to your competitor. People are investing, guys. Right now, they're investing. They've been investing all through COVID and all through the election and all through all the things going on in the world. Through all this craziness, people are investing like crazy right now. And it's only going to get better. There's a lot of opportunity. But the only way that you're going to stand out is by being consistent, having that repetition, and really standing behind your product or service, right? Even in all the midst of what's going on, you got to stand behind it, okay? You have to show people what makes you so different, what makes you unique, because there's people that do what you do, but not the way that you do it. So you need to show that. You need to demonstrate that. You have to bridge that gap for your potential buyers, or they're not buying from you, okay? So this is what's going to get people to buy into your methodology when you can say, here's how we're going to do this. Here's how we do it, why we do it this way, and here's why we think our way is going to be the best way for you. If you don't tailor and customize your stuff like that, then they're not buying in. Okay, because a confused mind doesn't buy. And if a mind is thinking about your option, but then they saw your friend promote this one yesterday, and they saw this one on a Facebook ad yesterday, and this one came via email yesterday, in their mind, they're like, which one should I go with? I don't know. I'm confused. And a confused mind doesn't buy. So you have to bridge that gap and help them connect the dots. If you're not helping your potential clients connect the dots so they can see that what you offer is the solution, it's a no-brainer, it's unique, it works, it's proven, and they absolutely need to buy into this, then they're not buying in, okay? And you're going to have a hard time. And a launch helps you do this, because when you're doing a launch 6 to 8 times a year, back to back to back, same launch, when you're doing that, you're perfecting your process. You're perfecting your system. You're working out the kinks. You're really learning what works, what doesn't work, and you can fine tune it as you go. We have made more money this year than in any other year before. In 2020, we have earned more money, have worked with more clients, and have had a bigger impact. Our clients have got bigger results than in any program I've ever launched in 20 years. And it's because I am following this process. All year, we have focused on this one thing, all year. For the whole year of 2020, we've done the same launch into the same program and same launch into the same program back to back, I think 8 times this year. And we have literally began to perfect the process so that next year in 2021, we've got this in the bag. It's not done. There's always room for improvement, but we've got a really solid process in place, right? And we're fine-tuning the program. Our clients are getting bigger, better, faster results than ever before. Right? So this is something that we weren't able to do with baby offers and low ticket offers and one-time offers and a bunch of random things all the time. Clients weren't even able to get those big transformations because of the way that we were selling and the things we were selling, and we were bouncing around and we were doing things incomplete and we weren't doing things to perfection. Right? So we want you to get better at your skill, not faster. Get better. Get better at mastering less things versus getting faster at more things. That's going to be your ticket in 2021. Now, the third and final thing, and then I want to answer a couple questions that came in. The third and the final thing, guys, that we really love about launching is you're going to reach more people, but with minimal effort. So here's an example. I'm going live right now. Here I am. I'm going live. And I'm going live to hundreds of people at one time. When we do our launch, it's the same thing. We bring about 200 to 300 people into our launch, and we go on live video for 5 to 10 days, and we live launch to them, one to many. Me being the one, you guys being the many. We bring 200 to 300 people into one room, and we pop on video, and we go live to them for 5 to 10 days, one to many. Some of you are doing this one-to-one thing, and it's kind of like a client here, client there trickle effect. We like to do the one-to-many model because it's a bigger impact. It's less minimal effort for you. It's a scalable business model because you're not trying to trade your time for dollars. Okay, so we want to be looking at how to launch in a way that allows you to reach multiple people with one effort, not multiple efforts to reach multiple people, right? So you get in a group of your dreamiest clients in one place. Now, does this come down to some strategy? Absolutely. You need to have an audience, number one. You need an audience. So you should be growing your audience by 10 to 20 people every single day. If you're not doing that, you have a broken business model. You don't have a strong lead generation system in place. If you're not seeing 10 to 20 people come into your audience every day, then you just don't have a strong lead generation system in place. So yes, you need people. You need the right people, which is going to come in through your messaging. So your messaging needs to be spot on and dialed in, right? You need to have clarity, and you need to be consistent and have that repetition. You need to have a nurture system. If you're going to grow your audience and then just slam them with your offer, that's not going to work, right? So you have to nurture them. You have to activate them. You got to get them engaged. You have to get your audience excited and eager to learn about what you do. And if you're not building that energy and getting people excited and engaged and eager, then when you go to launch, it's going to be dead air, right? You're not going to get the sales. Or even worse, you might get people who are like fans, super fans, and they love everything you do, but then they don't buy, okay? It all comes back to the sales psychology. You have to build that up to get them to actually buy in the end, okay? So a launch is not just throw your offer out there and slam everybody with it. There is a strategic, intentional process and methodology and system that needs to happen prior to even launching, okay? And then the cool thing, though, is you get to activate and sell one-to-many. So on our launches, when we're doing our launches, it's free value for 5 to 10 days. And then we sell. And then we extend an invitation for those who are ready to fast track, speed it up, take it to the next level, right? They're not looking to consume more free stuff. They're ready for the next level of success, right? They're ready for the next thing. Those people will get an invitation to come and join us in our hybrid program where we help them scale their one-to-many business model, make sure it's created and designed in a way to be scalable so your business can run with or without you, right? And we teach them how to build out that launch system, that methodology in their own business. And we teach them to bring on social sellers to help them with the lead generation, community management, and the conversion of their audience. Because if you as the business owner, if you're the person who has to generate your leads, if you're the person who has to always do the consult calls and convert and sell, if you're the person that always has to nurture all your people, if you're the one doing all of that as the business owner, you can't scale. It's impossible. There's no way to scale if you're trying to do all that plus run the business, right? So we, in that program, we move people from a launch into that program to help them do that. The rest of the people who are tuning into the launch, if they're not ready for that, they will continue to just consume our free value information, free trainings, free podcasts, free things that we put out, our sales tips, until they're ready. And that's why I said, the more you do this over and over and over and over, you will have people that came in 3 months ago, a month ago, 6 months ago, maybe even a year ago, that buy today, because they see you doing the same thing over, and it builds trust. It creates curiosity. It creates the FOMO, the fear of missing out on something. But they start to trust you because they see how consistent you are, and they think to themselves, wow, that must be a really good process and a really good thing she's got going on, because she talks about it for the past year, every single week, every month, all the time. They start to really get to understand who you are, what you do, why it's so important to them, why it's unique, and why they should buy from you. And they have that buy-in energy, and they trust you. It's very hard to do that, guys, if you're not doing the same thing over and over. No one's going to get sick of hearing you do it over and over, because half of your people are not even hearing it the first 10 times that you do it. The first 15 times you talk about it. Half of your people are not even hearing you, right? Never mind the new people coming in. So there's that consistency. Again, think of Tony Robbins, David Nagel. Think of, Suzanne Evans. Think of Gabrielle Bernstein. These people for decades have done and talked and led about the same things over and over and over and over. They've held the same events every year and made millions of dollars from them. They're completely sold out every single year. It's the same thing all the time. Okay? People will trust you when they see that you have a proven formula. And a proven formula to us, to the buyer, is not just you doing a good launch or having sexy images or having a cool website or putting out a lot of content. Prove it. You have to prove your system, and you'll do that over time with consistent repetition, talking about the same things over and over and over. Okay, so a couple questions, and if you guys have any, drop them below. If you're tuning into the replay, drop them below. I'll gladly jump in and answer. Okay. Okay, so I had a question like, what should my program be? If I'm going to do a launch, what should the program be? Our recommendation, again, I said this at the beginning, this is just how we teach it. Do it however you want. Okay, but this is what we do. This is what we teach our clients. The best program is a hybrid program that has exceptional service. Okay, so you're talking accountability built in. You're talking specific methodology. You have a very specific system you're teaching, right? We talked about that. Preferably a 12-month program that has recurring monthly revenue so that you can scale. You have some predictability, right? I've noticed a lot when people just accept pay in fulls. Some pay in fulls are great. We're not knocking it either way. We love a pay in full. But we love a pay plan because that recurring revenue that's predictable for 12 months for the whole year allows you to make business decisions like hiring, delegating things out, hiring new team members, making investments, coaching, paying your bills, reaching your goals, giving charity, giving back, doing things like that. It's very hard to do those things and make the decision to do those things if you don't have predictable revenue every single month like clockwork. So the launch helps you do that. And so what we help our clients do is create a 12-month program that's very high level, high touch, low tech, high touch, very exceptional service. So it's customized, it's tailored, it's very systematic. A lot of access to you and or your team or other experts. That has accountability, it has lots of coaching and access, has community, things like that. So a very high level hybrid type of program. And we recommend a 12-month program. Okay. You have to have an ascension plan. So like what's next for them? You want to have a high retention program. So for example, the PE program that we have, Profitable Entrepreneur, our clients come into that program and they usually are with us for anywhere from 2 to 3, maybe 5 years. It just depends. And that's because we're helping you build your social selling team. We're helping you build out your team. We're training your team. We are coaching your team every week. We're working with your team so you can go do your thing, right? And so it's a very customized high level program that it's very much a live program. So there's no reason for our team to go anywhere, our clients to go anywhere else. We are serving them. We're serving their team. We're coaching them. We're bringing in other experts. It's a very high level, exceptional program. Okay, so how long should you launch? That just depends. The methodology that we teach, you're launching for 5 to 10 days. You are leading up to your launch for anywhere from 3 to 4, maybe 5 weeks if you're running ads or whatever. And then there's usually about a week to 2 week follow-up time when the launch is over that we're maximizing sales and we're doing some extra things to really pull in the rest of those sales. And then we take a vacation from 3 days to sometimes a week or 2. There's a little vacation time, a little downtime, a little celebration time before you come back and get ready to do it again, right? So the launch cycle, it just depends on what that looks like for each person. Okay, do I need to do one-on-one first? If so, for how long? I think it's a good idea. I did one-on-one for 6 years before I ever launched my first group program. And the thing that is so good about one-on-one is you don't need a big audience, okay? You don't need a lot of sales. So if you are newer, okay, if you're newer and you're listening to this, you are going to have a hard time selling a low ticket offer, like a course or a group program, if you don't have an audience. Because who's buying? Who's going to buy that course? I have people that say, should I build a website? And I ask them, do you have an audience? No. Okay, so what are you going to build the website for if nobody's going to it? If you don't have traffic, you don't need to worry about a website and sales pages. What you need to do is get in conversations and book consultation calls and close high-ticket one-on-one clients. That's what you need to focus on if you don't have an audience and you haven't proven your concept. So one-on-one helps you do that. It's a fast, easy way to get thousands of dollars in the door very quickly with a very small audience. Okay. You don't need any technology. You don't need any pages, no website, because you're getting in conversations and you're closing. That's it. Right. The one-on-one allows you also to really work independently and in a customized way with each client. So you really get to learn your methodology. You get to learn your process. You get to put them through a process and in real time, tweak it and improve it along the way, so that at the end of it, after put in maybe 5 clients, 10 clients through your one-on-one, you really have a system. You learn over that data. You can take that data and say, here's what has worked really well for my clients. And here's the things that maybe didn't help them. It wasn't really what they needed to be doing. We'll take those out. And when you go to create your group program, you already have your methodology. You have your step-by-step formula, your system. You have testimonials. You've proven your concept. You've proven it, right? And you've put people through it. You know you have a system and process that works. All you're going to do now, the hard work is done. The hard work is done. You're going to take that process and you're just going to put it into a group program. Same process, same methodology. Everything I do with my clients in my hybrid program today is exactly what I've been doing for the past 18 years in one-on-one, in VIPs, in my other group programs, and working with my clients in my own company. I'm not doing anything different in any of my programs. In fact, every program I have, we're doing the same thing, just at different levels. My system is the same. No matter what program you join, no matter how we work together, it's the same thing. I teach the same thing. I'm not teaching something different over here, and then I'm going to do it a different way with this audience or a different way with this group of people. I'm following what works. My system is a proven system. So I'm going to do that, right? Repetitively across the board. So do you have to? You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Do I recommend that you do it? Yes, I recommend that you work with at least 5 one-on-one clients for a minimum of 3 to 6 months, and you put them through this system and you pay attention, you evaluate what's working and what's not before you try to create some leverage group program and go do this big launch that takes time and money to have it flop in the end because you haven't proven your concept yet. You don't have an audience. They're not activated. They're not engaged. They're not bought into your methodology, and you're not clear on your methodology. It's going to be hard to sell. Okay. All right. What was the other question? Isn't launching way too much work? It's whatever you say it is. It's whatever you say it is. I think it's harder to reinvent the wheel and start over all the time and not have predictable income than it is to follow the same system and perfect it and master it over and over and over again. I think it's harder to not know how I'm going to pay bills than it is to just do the same thing over and over and over and over again. It is whatever you say it is. I mean, business isn't easy in general. So whether it's launching or webinars or courses or one-on-one, it's all the same. It's just a different strategy, you guys. It's the same thing. It's just a different strategy. So it's going to be whatever you say it's going to be. We don't look at launching as hard. We look at it as fun. It's serving our people. It's impactful. It's changing lives, right? We're reaching our goals. Our clients are reaching their goals. We're giving a great service. It's an amazing thing. It's super fun. And once you get your system down, which the only way to do that is to do the same thing over and over and over again. Once you've done it enough times, it's easy. It's fast. You've already got the system in place. You've proven it. You're just reusing the same things and doing it over and over and over. Your first couple of launches are going to be tough, especially if you don't have any team. If you are launching and you have no team to help you, yes, it's going to be tough. Of course it is, right? But once you get a proven working system down and in place, you can bring people in to help you execute, and it becomes a rinse and repeatable process that eventually you don't even have to do because your team can do it for you. That's what we teach our clients to do. Okay. So it's going to be whatever you say it's going to be. Whatever you go into it thinking, then that's what it is. Okay. Shouldn't I just focus on one-on-one and low ticket offers? I kind of already touched on that. If you're trying to attract high-level clients, then they're not buying low ticket offers. High-level clients don't buy low ticket offers. I think you should focus on one-on-one if you need one-on-one. If you don't have revenue, if you don't have an audience, if you haven't sold to your clients yet, if you don't have clients, if you're newer, then yes, I recommend one-on-one to start for the reasons I just explained. If you are booked out in your one-on-one and you're solid in that and your clients are getting great results and you're ready to scale, you're ready to have a bigger impact, you're ready to help more people doing the same thing you're doing with your one-on-one clients right now, then absolutely you should probably move that into a one-to-many model, grow your audience by 300 or 400 people, do our process of your pre-launch, your launch, your after post-launch, your evaluation process, your vacation process. It's a whole system, and do that 6 to 8 times back to back every single year, all year, right? That's what we recommend. And yeah, I think that was it for questions that had come in that you guys have posted. All right, guys. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. If you have launch questions, let us know. We are kicking off in January with our Profit Launch Workshop method, where we're literally going to walk you through everything we just talked about and some. We're going to walk you through our launch process, what that looks like, what that entails. So if you are someone who's going to be preparing or is getting ready or wants to be launching in January, in the new year, then definitely type workshop, launch workshop, type launch workshop below, and we will get you access to get on to the list so that you know as soon as we are launching. It's happening in January. It'll be a free 5 to 10 day launch, and we're going to walk you through our methodology. We have daily implementation sessions that happen a little bit later after the training sessions each day, so we can really help you pull this together and map out your 2021 6-7 figure scale, depending on where you're at. So definitely let us know if you want to participate and register for that. It's free. Just type launch workshop below and we'll get you registered for that. It is coming up. Our next one is in January. Just to let you know, if you guys have questions about this, if anyone's tuning in and you're like, hey, I absolutely am ready to launch like now. I don't even want to wait till January. We'd love to learn your ways. We'd love to have a conversation. Go ahead and send us a Facebook DM and let us know that you'd like to chat on it. We can absolutely support you in building your social selling team, really scaling your signature methodology and group program, and taking your business to another level as we enter 2021, a brand new year. Really excited about it. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys all real soon. All right. Thanks. Bye, everybody.